Okay, so let's see. I am basically an adult indigo empath. I had a Kundalini Rising awakening in Palm Beach, Florida. About 2005, I was heavily into yoga, meditation, astrology, past life regression. I was doing a lot of kava bar visiting, and I thought perhaps it was related to that. I did begin Reiki training, but I got a little bit ill. And at that time, I think the person that was teaching me Reiki was wondering whether I was, in fact, an empath. You'll see my artwork in the background. I'm trying to get a little bit of it in here. This is my past life regression painting. It's a Chinese Mongolian warrior. I paint and make jewelry, and basically, there's some more of it. My Kundalini rising experience. What happened is I was struggling between art and spirituality for a career. And like I said, I'm a painter and an artist. I made jewelry for years. I worked in fine jewelry all over New York and Florida. And I basically was trying to leave the ministry. I was in a ministry candidacy for the Presbyterian Church. I taught Sunday school for 3 years. I was in candidacy for about a year and a half. And I was struggling, like I said, between art and spirituality, not realizing how much they're merged. Went to Florida, left. I did an urban art program for children at the church. I forgot to mention that. For urban children in the Allentown area of Buffalo. It's a historic district close to the Elmwood Village. And we brought in urban children. And, art is universal language. You don't need language skills. A lot of them were from Haiti, Africa, Puerto Rico, recent, transplants to the U.S. And they were basically, we were using art to let them communicate. And the art was phenomenal. And I ended up leaving the ministry and moving to West Palm Beach, and I began to channel. I didn't know it was channeling at the time. Basically, what would happen is I would do, I worked in a restaurant, the 500 block of Clematis and City Place in West Palm Beach, and the people that were coming in, a lot of them were from UK and Australia, very highly metaphysical, not mainstream type spiritual people, and I loved it. And I began to read charts. I would look up their sun, their moon, their Venus, and their rising sign. And then I would also do their Chinese astrology. I learned that at a restaurant called Meizhen. I worked there for 3 years. I was the only, American white chick working there. Everybody else was Buddhist and male. And I learned from Suzanne White, pretty much self-taught from her books and her thing, how to do a person's element and their animal. And I liked it. It's based on Buddhism. I was kind of into Eastern thought. Had just left the Presbyterian Church, and I just was looking to the east a little more. So I would do their animal, their element, their sun, their moon, their Venus, and their rising sign. And then I would take that information and I would pretty much, meditate or channel. And I would either make a metaphysical piece of jewelry, mostly based on astrological information, or I would paint a 9 by 12 painting, or sometimes a 12 by 12 painting. Sometimes I did it on the internet, so there was no actual physical energy exchange. I wasn't aware then that I was an empath, so I didn't really employ that as much then. So something would invariably be in the painting. They would say like, "Oh my God, that's my brother's tricycle. He passed away when I was 4. Oh, oh, that's my grandfather's horse. Something would always be coming into the painting that I could have not ever have possibly known about this person. And I enjoyed it, and I did this for probably about 9 months. I have a spiritual survey that I devised that I used, and I still do employ it. And then let's see. Then I kind of, went my own way and did a few other things and and then I began to collect tarot and oracle cards, and I continued with my art and blah blah blah. Well, time went on, and I got tired of the art and bored with the art, and I kept collecting these decks and studying them. And one night I just decided to channel my own deck. So I took my paintings, I cut them into oracle card deck sizes, and I have a deck of those. They're 44 cards. And then I have a deck of photographs. The photographs are nature based. They're all from my garden or Woodlake, the community that I live in. It's a it's a country club with very North Carolina, in the middle of the sand hills, close to Pinehurst golf resort. And it's very zen here. Very a lot of trees and nature and swans and birds, and so it's all pretty much a year and a half. I've been here while my dad was on hospice. He was a Leo, and he recently passed, and I was the primary caretaker. So I took the photographs during that time period, and I've been living here. Let's see. So I have that one. That's more like a totally photographs with a few words put here and there in phrases. And then the oracle card deck, the other one, is strictly my paintings. So I'm looking for someone to help me publish both of either or both of the decks. But I'm going to send a separate video where I'm actually reading with the cards so that you can see me doing that. They're a little ghetto. They're self-made. They're actually photographs and paintings on cold pressed French watercolor paper, and then they're adhered to cards I bought at the dollar store, like children's flashcards. So they're going to look a little different when I'm reading on the video, but I will show them, and I'll show you a typical read. And that's basically it. I can't think of anything else. Oh, I have a Scorpio stellium in the 12th house. I have Sagittarius rising, a Cancer moon in the 8th, and Pisces in Jupiter, or Jupiter in Pisces. Blah, Jupiter in Pisces. And my name is Margot, and I never tell anyone my last name because nobody can spell it anyway. I have a Facebook page. It's called Raccoon62. I got bit in the rear by a rabid raccoon in Florida, close to Palm Beach, Lake Worth, and I had to get the rabies series, and I got some shamanic healing. And they tell you it's your spirit animal, which it is. It's one of my spirit animals. So now I just sort of embrace it. But I am not native that I know of. But okay, so that's that. And then I'll be sending a separate video for where you could see the actual oracle cards. And I'm actually reading with them so you could see what they look like. Thank you. Have a good day.